Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. It's Lane here with MetaShackle. I just wanted to take a quick look at a couple of charts here. This is a Bitcoin chart that I created, and I think it's very telling. Now you can see that this curved line here correlates with the peaks of price. Each time the price has touched or gotten slightly above this upper curved line, price collapsed, heading back towards the Gaussian channel. It happened right here, it happened here, it happened here, pulling back slightly, double kissing it here before the big pullback. And we are now once again seeing a very similar pattern here with a double kiss like we saw right here. This is on the monthly chart. Now switching over to the weekly chart, I'm going to zoom in here to show you something. Now taking a look right here, when price came up and hit this curved line, it set a high. Then price came down, swept that previous high, then fell back down. We saw the same thing here. Price set a high, taking out this high. Then it did the same thing here that it did here, setting a newer high, setting a higher high, then price collapsed. If you look at the chart now, you can see that same pattern playing out. On this lower side, price set a high, came down, set a newer high, taking out the previous high. Price collapsed. But we have now just crossed over the curved line, setting this high here, which you can see that we have now taken that high out. Does this mean we've reached a top in Bitcoin and we're now going to collapse back into the Gaussian channel? So if we jump over and we take a look at the heat map, we're looking at the 6-month, you can see that the thickest band of liquidity on the entire heat map is sitting right here at about 79,391. In this nice little band, which runs from about 77,000 up to about 82,005. The liquidity resting below current price is much thicker than anything resting above it. Now if we jump over to my other chart, this is the weekly chart, you can see that that liquidity area that we were just talking about is represented by this yellow box right here on the chart. Price has been pressing up against this upper trend line, which is forming a bearish ascending wedge pattern that I talked about in my video earlier today. We have quite a few targets below current price. One right here, which is a weak doji reverse waterfall sitting at about 105,857. We also have a weak doji echo reverse waterfall on the weekly right here, which is sitting at 96,210. So if we do see price collapse from this point, and looking at this chart, it's overdue for a major pullback. Price has basically been going straight up since it was down here at about 16,000. This can't continue forever. But it's likely that if this has topped and it does collapse, price will come down, and if it breaks through this lower trend line, it'll likely bounce off of this bullish fair value gap right here in green, retest off of that before continuing further. But the most likely candidate on the entire chart, as you saw in the heat map, would be this yellow box right here. So are we about to see Bitcoin pull back in a major fashion, which would absolutely be incredible for altcoins as the money starts to just dump out of Bitcoin and seek undervalued assets? And Bitcoin also just hit a new all-time high at a time when we've been seeing Ethereum go on an incredible run itself. Could we be looking at the top of Bitcoin right here, at least until we see a major pullback into lower liquidity, where we could end up seeing something like this, where price comes down, retests, sops up some of this liquidity, then makes a move back to the upside? Because one thing is for sure, this upward momentum can't continue forever. And I think that first chart I showed you is very telling. I don't know if this is the top for sure or not, but I think we're going to find out very soon. For additional information and exclusive perks, do consider joining me and the rest of our community on Patreon.